if you can't hear me or something, let me know. Okay, just unmute. Yeah.
So we use complete translated. Cross the legs and you should move it on that way. And the reason is the knees come higher than the hips is not so comfortable, right? And also I'd like you to try sitting when you sit, instead of crossing the legs at the ankles, walk the feet. So you're crossing more at the center of the shins and then the knees rest on your feet. So this is what's called Supasana, easy pose. And pull that up again. Yeah. Yes, see how, so instead of doing this, right? I want you to try this, it's a different thing for the hips. Different thing. And rather than checking the feet back, bring the feet forward and then you relax and turn the soles of the feet up. And now the legs just rest on the feet. One more blanket. Possibly two. Or you can use the balls. Let's see how that goes. I think you can use 2 blankets as well. In this position, your knees are a little high, right? So 2 blankets. Yeah, and so when you cross, hold? Yeah, hold it now. Cross so that your feet are under your knees. You can do that. And then take your, so like instead of this, walk your feet like this. So your feet come a little more forward. Yeah. And see if you can walk your feet even more apart from each other. Means they walk this way and then and that's a different thing for your hips. Very different, right? It's a different experience. Now, take one thigh, one hand on the inside, one hand on the outside, up by your groin. So high up, So not by the knee, but by where the groin is. And lift and then turn front thigh in, the back thigh out. Yes, like that. Yes. So you have to lift your sitting bone up and turn the flesh. No, the other way. Turn it the other way. Yes, like that. Then do the other side. Same thing. And observe what happens to your pelvic floor and sitting bones. Can you feel a throbbing there? So that's your base, right? Your pelvic floor is your base. And if you just pull the flesh away from the sitting bones, it's very sharp on the sitting bones. That's why we turn the whole thigh. The whole thigh. Also, we want that turning to occur in the groin here, not just pulling the flesh, but this going in is going to help with the back thighs broadening and pelvic floor broadening. So that's your Muladhara chakra. Your base support is your pelvic floor. Okay, so you want to feel that. It's not all pinched and dull and whatever. But this is what you're sitting on. Okay, so you have your 2 sit bones, east and west. Those are the bones at the bottom of the pelvis. See if you can feel those 2. And then if you roll backward, you'll feel your tailbone. So that's north, down. And then if you roll forward towards your pubic bone, that's north, right? So now feel your sitting bones and roll just a little forward to the forward edge of the sitting bones. So you're off your tailbone. Right, and then press down into your sit bones. Press down. And can you feel how that activates the lift of your torso? Okay, make fingers just like this. Bring your hands behind you, and you can have your hands on your blanket or on the ground. Lift and roll your upper arm bones back, draw the shoulder blades down the back, and press down into your fingers. Release your legs, your thighs, and your knees down. And as you press down, keep your hips rooted. Lift the sides of the body up from the outer hips to the armpit. So you've lifted the center, now you're lifting the sides. And observe the reverse C in your armpit chest. Back of the armpit, front of the armpit, front of the armpit up, and edge of the shoulder blades down. Firm the shoulder blades on the back, and then rest your hands on your thighs. Palms will be up and down. Okay, cute jump. And have your elbows being, there you go. Lift your chest. Don't lose the lift of the chest. You know, there's a saying in this marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is apparently comes from my Jewish friend's mother, who's like in her 80s. She's like, oh, yeah, we can say that forever. Sit up. Don't let it sound down. And this is what happens as we get older. Women, especially because we have breasts that pull us down. We have whatever shame that might be involved with that. We have weaker upper back strength and upper body strength in that, right? So don't start collapsing. Your heart and lungs are in there. It's important to keep that open. So, and work with the breath in this area. So not just pushing the belly in. The lower belly, nothing's happening. Keep that in, right? The upper belly moves a little. When the diaphragm moves down, the abdomen moves out. A little bit here, not so much here, right? And then spread the ribs. Take the breath into the side and backwards, and then all the way up into the armpit, chest, the clavicles, not the throat. There's no lungs up there, but there are lungs all the way up here. Teeniest portion, bigger portion is down here. So observe that expansion lets the breath go in. That's an engagement. And then you just slowly release, and the breath will flow out. Mostly the diaphragm is doing the work here, right? But you're also expanding the diaphragm moves down and then it spreads out. Ribs expand into the top chest. Relax the shoulders. Yeah, shoulders up and back. Yeah, lift your arms up and back and draw the shoulder blades down. Yeah. And then firm the shoulder blades on the back. That's the mid-back core. 17 muscular attachments on the shoulder blades. It's huge. No tendons, no ligaments. It's not a joint. We're speaking. Okay, so it should have free range of motion and also firm speed. And tuck the chin slightly, eyes being closed, looking down, and just observe your breath for a few moments. Creating space as you inhale. Letting go as you exhale, whatever no longer serves you. So you can't really take in the full inhale until you exhale, right? So exhale completely. Pause a moment at the bottom of the exhale. Observe that pause. And then inhale. Widen space, the ribs and the chest to allow the breath to just come in. It's a vacuum, right? And then as you slowly release, you're closing that space. The air just comes out. You don't have to force it, right? But you're just encouraging the bigger breath. Breath is the main energy source, right? We can live several weeks or months without food, several days without water, only minutes without breath. It's the source. You are opening your chant, so let your hands float up to under the mudra in the center of your chest, prayer position. Bring your fingers forward for a moment, and where your thumb meets into your wrist, put that at the bottom of your sternum. So here, not the thumb, but the thumb meets the wrist. And lift the bottom sternum up. So it's below your breast. It's the bottom rib cage. Lift that up, and then turn your fingers up. And then bring your fingers and thumbs all the way together to create a seal. And then press this part of your whole thumb now into your sternum, and lift the bottom sternum to the top. Lift your upper arms up and roll them back. And then draw the shoulder blades down. You connect the tricep and the outer edge of the upper arm to the outer edge of the shoulder blade muscle. Draw the shoulders and the elbows down as you lift the center up. You can give a little press more firmly into the sternum, not with the thumb tips, right, but with the thumbs, the outer edge. Yeah, so that whole bit. And take the fingers straight up and draw the elbows back and down, back and down. Yes, there you go. Then you can feel the vibration of the chant here. Inhale deeply, we'll chant all together. Om. You can follow the response, so you listen and then you repeat together. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhavatu, Saviryam, Saviryam, Karavai, Karavai, Tejasvi, Tejasvi, Navaditam, Navaditam, Astumam, Astumam, Vidvisham, Vidvisham, Vahai, Vahai, Om. Take a little deeper breath with the heart. As you exhale, release your head over forward, chin in towards your chest, release your hands down to your thighs. Pause here for a few moments, let your eyes be closed. With the front of the throat, the trachea is the windpipe at the front of the throat. Draw that towards the back of the neck, following the front of the throat. Draw the sides of the neck back towards the back of the jaw and the base of the skull. And release the muscles at the back of the neck, the base of the skull to the occipital ridge. Keep lifting the center and the side by the abdomen, moving the upper arm and back, turning the shoulder blades onto the back and down a bit. As you release the head down, throw the chin in a little bit towards the clavicular notch, which is that little hole at the between the clavicles. Stimulating the coronary chakra, minor energy center, which is cornus torus, which helps to withdraw the senses. And this is the Jalandhara, throat seal. It's also bowing the head to the heart. Allow the energy of your eyes, brain, and senses to slowly descend into your heart center. So like gentle raindrops moistening the bottom of your heart. And take your energy down into your heart center and have a sense of yourself emanating from there. That's your sensing and feeling body as opposed to your thinking brain. And emanate not just from the back, from the front of your heart, but also from the back and the sides of the body. And then keeping your sense of self down in your heart center and your eyes closed on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck. And as you lift the chin, draw the chin back a little so the ears line up over the shoulders and slightly down. And then with your eyes closed, raise your gaze so that when you do open your eyes, you're looking straight ahead. But keep your eyes soft into the back of your head and soften and broaden your internal focus. And as though you're looking ahead from the back of your skull, allow your eyelids to gently open. So go ahead and extend your legs, and we'll go to Virasana forward in preparation to come up and do some sunset. So Virasana forward is a variation of child's pose. You can take something under your knees and shins if you'd like. You're going to sit on your heels. Certainly do that if you have sensitive knees, shins, feet. So yeah, and you can open that up a notch. Open it up so it's like halfway this way. Yeah, just flip that. Yeah, and turn it the other way. Turn it the other way. Yeah, there you go. That way you have more space from the back, right? And pull that all the way back where your feet are. So you're going to be sitting at the back of the mat. Yeah. And then if your ankles are tight, you can roll up the back of the blanket under your ankles. So the first thing is just sitting on the heels. And the knees are wide. So this is the Virasana variation with the knees wide. So you're just compressing the legs, opening the fronts of the feet and ankles. And descending the hips down. And just take a moment and deflate, because we tend to be ready to run, right? So let's take it out of fight flight and into rest digest. And spread the flesh, spread the skin, soften the grippings wherever they are. Observe. And then as we go forward, you want to try to keep that heaviness. We're doing a forward bend between the thighs. Keep the heaviness of the hips on the heels, right? And then bring your hands to your hips. Find the frontal hip points. That's your iliacus. Here's the sides of the hips. And as you go forward, there's like points at the front of the hips. And then rolling those forward in between the thighs. That's how you do a forward bend. Not from the top of the hip, right? But from the bottom, where the crease is. So let that crease deepen and hollow. And then hook your thumbs in the outer hips for a moment. And that's your way out to the outer thighs. Pull your thumbs way back. Yeah, there you go. And pull that skin and flesh back as you fold over forward. So that also stays back. It's a smiling hip crease as you do a forward bend. Then bring your hands on the ground and bring your hands towards the outer edges of your shoulders and spread your palms wide. So your fingers spread, not to overspread your thumb and pinky because that's a little hyperextension. So kind of relax, especially the thumb, but spread the middle three fingers and try to press in to these base knuckles, especially the index finger and the thumb now. So you're on the inner edge of your fingers so that you don't hang out on the outer edge of the hand and wrist, but you're on the outer edge of your thumb. Okay. And push down into your hands and forward into your fingers. Now find your elbow joints and squeeze your elbows in towards each other and up towards the ceiling. And then draw the outer at the top edge of the shoulders down, shoulder blades, and the outer edge of the upper arm down. Connect that to the outer edge of the shoulder blade. Now push again and feel how that buttocks comes to the heels. And then instead of sticking your butt way out, curl your tailbone a little bit under, right? So you elongate your lower back. And also if you're hard in the lower back ribs, lift the front ribs towards the back ribs so you have more breathability in your back. Front ribs to back ribs,
buttocks to heels. And squeeze the elbows into that. So the tissue around the elbows is dull, and that's the bottom of the tricep, which straightens the elbows. So squeeze those in and up so they straighten. Squeeze the elbows in towards each other. Yeah, any amount. There you go. Squeeze the right one in. And up. And up. And shoulders down. Same time. Yeah. And then walk your hands forward. Push down into the hands, forward into the fingers. And now start to elongate the back of your neck. When you do this, don't drop your head down. It's a big, heavy bowling ball. Tuck your chin in towards your clavicular notch, like we did before, and elongate the back of the neck. Draw the sides of the throat up a little bit, yeah, so that there's length. And feel that you want to get length from the tailbone all the way to the top of the neck and the top of the head, right? And breathe into the skin and flesh of the back body. Then you can shimmy your ribs a little bit down between your thighs if needed. You might need to widen your legs, right? And then rather than being in a rush to get the head down, pause for a moment, squeeze the arms in, the triceps in, and then imagine someone's pressing gently on your shoulder blades, and take your armpits closer to the ground. Armpits. And then tuck your chin even more in towards your clavicular notch, like that little hip firm filling in on itself. And then slowly, when you're ready, you can take the head down. And if your head is very far from the ground, then you would support it with a blanket. For now, go a little wider in your knees. Yeah. It's a little better, yeah. Okay, great. And just be here for a few breaths. And observe. Observe the breath in the back body. If this is uncomfortable, just let me know. Is that okay? Yeah. So send the breath. So remember, there's more air sacs in the back of the lungs, right? In the back. So breathe into the back. Don't try to push into the belly, but spread the skin and flesh on the back of your body and observe the heart take places there and soften them with your awareness in your breath. Okay? And then we'll come up onto hands and knees and go into Anasana, downward facing dog. So you might want to remove the blanket. And then we come to hands and knees, bring your hands maybe a little bit forward of your shoulders. And again, spread your palms well and check the wrist creases. The wrist creases point straight ahead. So it's not so much about where your index finger or middle finger go, it's where your wrist creases point. And observe, you're squeezing the thumb side of your wrist crease, then you turn a little out so you're not squeezing that, right? And don't overextend the thumbs or the pinkies. Find the middle three fingers and press those base fingers down, the base knuckles, and roll to the inner edge of the fingers, outer edge of the thumbs. And then as you push down into your hands, lift up energetically from the palms of your hands. That's Hasta Bandha. Hasta is hand in Sanskrit. And those are minor chakras in the hands. Lift that energy up through the bones of the arms into the shoulder sockets, right? So you're pushing down muscularly, but lifting up energetically. Push your buttocks back towards your heels. Squeeze your elbows in and up. Grab on the top edge of the shoulder blades. Curl your toes under. Draw your outer ankles in and press down from your inner heels into your big toe mounds and press down and forward into your hands and then lift your knees and hips up and then shut it down. Keep your heels up. You can adjust your feet distance front to back, side to side. And just take a few breaths, keeping your heels up, the buttocks super high. Okay? And then firm your elbows in and up and draw from the top edge of your shoulder blades as you do that. Push down into your hands from your shoulder blades. Push forward into your fingers from your shoulder blades. Take the top edge of the shoulder blade deeper in and let the lower front ribs slow up towards the pubic bone. So there's a hollowing in your abdomen. Widen your inner thighs right up by the pelvic floor and pull those back towards the wall behind you. Imagine someone's got their thumbs hooked in your outer hips or your hands and pull those back away from your chest. So you're getting your hips away from your ribs, more space in the waist. And slowly the heels are reaching back towards the wall behind you and down towards the ground, spreading the skin and flesh of the bottoms of your feet. Reach the heels a little bit out, so you're paralleling the outside of your feet rather than the inside. And then lift the head of the shin bones up off the top of the feet. Lift the inner ankle up to the inner knee, lift the outer ankle up to the outer knee. And then press the whole circumference of the thigh bones back. And then start to walk your hands back towards your feet. And as you move closer to the wall, walk your feet forward towards your hands. Get your weight in your legs and come all the way over to Uttanasana. You can soften your ankles and knees so that your hips soften and fold over your thighs. And rather than pushing your abdomen forward onto your thighs, as you exhale, let the abdomen float back towards the back and up under the ribs, hollowing out the abdomen, and you're moving on a Kriya. Release the spine from the tailbone all the way down to the head. And start to open the backs of your legs. Let the hamstrings release up from the backs of the knees to the sitting bones, and then root down into the heels from the backs of the knees. And lift the kneecaps up, inner kneecap up to the inner groin, outer kneecap up to the outer hip. And then lift your head up and walk your hands forward so you're in a little tabletop. Your hands are under your shoulders and you're on your fingertips. You can use blocks if needed. Come on your fingertips. They're getting ready to come up, right? So your hands are not too far forward. They're just under your shoulders. And then draw the shoulder blades back and down the back to the more length of your neck. And then absorb your upper back and look up, chin up. Find your sitting bones and roll them down towards your heels as you lift your hamstrings up to meet your sitting bones. Pull your lower belly into your spine, extend your torso a little forward, and then inhale, reach your arms up. And come up toward the Hastasana, straight legs. Be here and breathe. And then bring your feet about 10 distance apart. That's Tadasana legs. And roll your inner groin back, elbow to the floor. Keeping the inner groin back, find your tailbone. Move your tailbone towards your pubic bone and lift the pelvic floor a little bit. That's Mula Bandha. Find your outer hips, firm your outer hips in and root down into your outer feet. As you lift your inner legs up to your inner groin. Keep your inner thighs wide. Now find the tops of the thighs, right at the groin, press those back, and then absorb your sacrum in and up. Now find your rib cage. Lift your ribs up off your hips. Get more and more lift. And then find your triceps and squeeze your upper arms in towards your ears. Slide the sides of the throat back and look up. Oiling your upper spine and bring your fingers and thumbs together. And then if you can, with elbows straight, bring your palms together, like an arrow. Elbows straight, straighten the elbows. Yeah, yes. Pressure the right one. Yes, squeeze the tricep in and bring the armpits closer together. Armpits, the shoulder blades broad. Yeah, that's, and then release, lower your arms. Good, okay. So come to the front of your mat. We'll do some vibration. And Tadasana. So your feet are sit on in parallel. Pull your arms down, lift your kneecaps up, and we'll go over those again. So have your feet sit on with, not out of it. So your sit bones are here, right? And just draw a straight line down to the heels. So that's the natural position of your legs dropping straight down. And check to see that your feet are parallel. So turn your neck right in, yeah. Very good. Come on, Miranda. Heel out. Toe in. Yeah, don't widen your feet. Your feet are narrower. There you go. Now just your right heel. Yeah, there you go. Just your right heel has to go out more. Lift your right heel and turn it, not your toe. Just your heel. Now your legs are too wide. So heel your foot in again. Yes, there you go. So that feels really uncomfortable, I would imagine. Right? It's turning out that one. It turns out, right? And we all have things like this. That's common. So now inner knees, instead of pushing the inner knees back, draw the inner knees a little forward. So you don't want to be hyperextended and you have O knees, right? So you bring your inner knees a little forward so your knees point straight ahead. And then out your inner thighs press into the bones at the same time you firm your outer legs in. So when you firm your outer legs in, don't collapse your inner thighs. Keep your inner thighs broad. Okay, so your legs are strong and firm. You're gripping the muscles of your bones and rooting down into your feet. Pressing the outer as you lift the inner legs up to the perineum. And then you lift the perineum up through the front of the spine all the way up to the front of the throat. That's the core of the body, like an apple core. And extend your arms down from your elbow joints. And bring your arms a little bit back and lift the arms just up. And draw the shoulder blades down. Good. Draw the chin back a little. Soften the gaze. Soften the skin, but maintain the firmness of the muscles of the bones. And down a little and gaze down in the perineum. And you're raising top thighs back a lot. More. Yes. And knees soft. Yes. Good. Okay. And then we'll do, so we're going to inhale with the arms up, straight up, like an arrow. So don't push the hips forward, right? Don't push the ribs forward. But lift, like we just did. Take the side of the throat back, look up, palms together if you can with elbows straight. Okay. Or you can just reach up. And then exhale, come over. Uttanasana. Fingertips in line with toe tips. Pause for a moment. Release the muscles at the back of the legs. They open the backs of the knees. Widen the buttocks, widen the pelvic floor. Hands on the ground, and you can bend your knees together, bend your knees, and you can use your blocks if you need to. You can also widen your feet if you need to, that's helpful. Put your hands on either side of your feet, so not in front of your feet, yeah, so the fingertips are in line with each other. That's it. Now inhaling, lift your head up, come to your fingertips, head up, fingertips, and then step your right leg back, high lunge. Pause here and breathe it. So keep your knee off the ground for high lunge. So knee is straight your knee. So your left knee in high lunge is over your left hip. And then you draw the outer left knee back to the outer left hip and firm the outer left hip in. And then draw the outer right knee up to the outer right hip to square your hips. And roll the inner right thigh up and extend from the inner groin to the inner heel. So that back leg is really strong, not sinking. Lift the right thigh, yes, lift it up. And then look down, put your foot, look down, head down, yes. So when you go back to the straight arm chaturanga, you're already there, except your leg. So flat palms, step back, straight arm chaturanga. Flat palms, flat, yes. Good, extend your heels back, extend the side of the body forward, firm the hips. Hold it and breathe. This is an asymmetric exercise. Separate your feet a teeny bit more, Pia. So that, yeah, that's it. Buttocks down, chest forward a little bit. Thighs up. Thighs up as the buttocks comes in. Butt down, thighs up, so there's firmness. Yeah. And then exhale, bend your knees. Bend your knees. Keep your toes curled under. And stick your butt out. Okay. Squeeze your elbows in, turn your elbows forward, and bend your elbows back. So your inner elbows, not like this. Inner elbows forward, elbows back. Spread your palms. And then you start to come forward. So you can come halfway. This is like a little teeny chaturanga type move, and then open up your front of your hips, point your toes. Pull your elbows back, bend your elbows. Yeah, so you're not just hanging out on stick arms, spread your palms. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chin. Exhaling, push up, hands and knees, look towards your belly, curl your toes under, lift your hips up, down, facing up. Couple of breaths. Turn your knees. Turn your elbows, pull the hips back, bring the shoulder blades coming down the back, release the head. Now look forward in between your hands and lift your heels up. So you're preparing to come forward, look between your hands, bring your right foot forward. If you can't get it all right forward, you can lower your back knee and pull it forward. So you want your fingertips in line with your toe, three on your fingertips. Both fingertips. Fingertips, yeah. Widen your hands to shoulder width. So your hands are a little narrow, straight elbows. So the left knee up, yeah. Yeah, straight leg, firm the back leg. So we're gonna do standing poses and the back leg is foundational. So you train here, right? And then you can get it there. Now, especially from the outer right hip in, pull the belly in toward the spine, look down towards your foot, and then exhale, step forward. Uttanasana. Release your torso down. Open the backs of your legs gently. Release the abdomen towards the back and up under the ribs. Release the neck and head down. Breathe. You can soften your ankles and knees if that helps you fold. Try not to push your abdomen forward. That will stop the fold, right? But slowly, you want to release that. Then you look forward. You can bring your hands a little forward, head up. Roll the sitting bones down with the hamstrings up, with the pubic bone up, reach the arms up and come up. And then you can look up if that's comfortable, and then exhale and lower your arms. Okay, and do that on the left. And it is Matsukiki, Tadasana, if you did with the floor. Firm arms and legs. Inhale, take your arms up without pushing anything forward. Take the head back, hook up, palms together if that's comfortable. Exhale, you come over. Pulling the waist in as you come over, you can pause for a moment. At the end of the exhale, head comes all the way down. So you're in a full forward bend. Release your neck. Yeah, release your eyeballs. Yes. Take your gaze in the forward bend in towards your heart center. Drop, yes. We're so used to holding our body up by our neck, especially ladies, I would say. Too much thinking, right? Release the head. Yes. And then inhaling, head up, come to your fingertips, step your left leg back, high lunge. So outer right knee to outer right hip, to the outer right hip is firm. Outer left knee up to the outer left hip to square the hip. So both sitting bones point back. Spiral the inner left thigh up, extend to the inner left foot and firm that knee from the waist. And then flat palm step back, straight arms to the tummy, push up. Extend the heels and legs back. From the hips and extend the side of the body forward out of that, so down in between your hands. Lift your knees up, lift your thighs up, firm your legs, like sticks. Hug the muscles to the bones. Then exhale, bend your knees, stick your butt out, inner elbows forward, pull the elbows back. You can come halfway or you can come all the way down to knees, chest, chin. This is called Uttanasana, 8 parts of the body touching. And then you can either extend your legs back or push yourself forward. And ground your hips, extend your legs, press your hands and curl up into a cobra. Squeeze your elbows in. Yeah, so your inner elbows are forward. Press down with your hands forward with your fingers and curl your spine up. And then coming for hands and knees. And if you need to bring back, you can always go all the way back into that Virasana forward shape. And then for toes under and lift your hips up into down dog. Okay? Firm your elbows, firm your knees. And then pull your inner thighs back, inner groins back, outer hips back. Pull, use the legs to pull the hips back away from the ribs. Press down into the hands, forward into the fingers, and get the shoulder blades on the back. Especially the top edge. Front ribs float a little bit toward the pubic bone. Abdomen hollow and spread. Breathe. Release the head. And then looking forward in between your hands, lift your heels as you inhale, bring your left foot forward. High lunge, beyond your fingertips. Left knee is over the left ankle. Spiral the inner right leg up, extend from the inner groin to the inner heel. Outer knees to outer hips, firm the hips, especially the left hip. Looking down toward your foot, you can push off. Exhale, step forward. Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inner groins back, outer hips back. Release the torso over, head down. Breathe. Widen your knees a little, and bend your knees and widen, not your knees, yes. Widen your knees more, yes. Now, let your head come down, drop it, and slowly lift your buttocks up, keeping your knees wide. Yes, good. Now look forward, come to your fingertips, sitting bones down, hamstrings up, pubic bone up. Inhale, take your arms up, look up, palms together. Exhale, lower your ribs. Good. So the more you really focus on good alignment and sun salutation, the more you'll take that into your poses and vice versa, right? Turn elbows. When your arms are straight, you're not bent. Turn the knees, right? And muscles to bones, but softly. So you're not overly tense, okay? So hug in deeply. Just do one more on each side, right up. Inhale and coordinate with the breath now. Up, exhale. Knees over, inhale. Fingertips, right leg back, high lunge. From your back leg. Knees up. Hips are down. Hips are down. Yeah, knees up. Knees up. Left knees up. Or right knee, actually. Okay. From the waist. Flat palm, step back. Straight arm chaturanga. So you can go to bent arm chaturanga or use just gently half chaturanga. So you can explore what option works better for you. You can do high cobra, low cobra, up dog. You can go to bending, straight legs, child pose, goes down dog. Okay, so you have options always. The main thing is to move and breathe, and also strengthen and stretch. Firm knees and elbows, inner groins back, outer hips back. Pull, use the legs to pull the hips away from the wrists. Press into the hands, shoulder blade down the back, and breathe. Hollow belly. Head down. And then heels up, look forward in between your hands and inhale, bring your right leg forward. High lunge. From the outer hips, from the belly to the spine, head looks at the foot, exhale, step forward. Uttanasana. Release your torso, broaden the buttocks. Look forward. Sitting bones down, hands up, pubic bone up, arms up. Look up if you can. Exhale. Arms. That's that. Inhale, reach up. Look up. Exhale, knees over. Uttanasana. Inhale, head up, fingertips. Step the left leg back, high lunge. Turn the back leg, turn the hips, turn the waist. Flat palm, step back. Straight out and around that. Remember, you can do bent back and around that. Knees just in, half turn around that. You can inhale the up dog with cobra. You can go through child pose, straight legs, or bent knee into down dog. Okay? Turn elbows, turn knees, inner groins back, outer hips back, head down. Breathe. Shoulder blades on the back, squeeze the elbows in. Yes. Good. Head down, don't hold the clothes in your neck. Lift your hips up, and even, yes. Look forward, head up. Inhaling left leg forward with your fingertips, turn your outer hip, turn your legs. Turn your back leg, back knee straight. Don't look up, move down in your foot. Turn your outer left foot, and then exhale, step forward, and release your head down into the forward bend, all the way down. Don't look up, look at the other. Shift your weight a little forward. Your buttocks is more over your heels. Look forward, and then inhale, reach up. Sitting bones down, do the forward up, hamstrings up. Exhale. Good, okay. Turn the mat. One forward, one back, you're like this. Have your block, back and out. Whatever level you need to bring it down. You're needing that, turn it like this. Yeah, it's pretty. So one can be forward, one can be back, stab like that. Good, and then put your blocks at the back and out like I have done. And or they can be all the way up, and then you need a higher block. Standing position, and continue to Trikonasana, in and out, side to side, and then hold, right? So make sure your mat is square to room. Turn the blocks this way, you have mine? Yeah. And not too far, right, depending on how tall you are, sometimes you want to be able to reach them. Yeah, okay. Now, stand in the center of your mat facing, come away from the blocks towards the front edge of your mat. We're gonna step or jump with feet wide. No one with the block. Okay. Samasthiti is a balance pose. Feet are all the way together. Samasthiti. Same standing, like even standing. Samasthiti is firm. And so even though your legs are together, it's more of a balance when your legs are together, right? And then when you're wide, that's a different challenge. You're gonna go wide. So then we bring the legs all the way together. So don't squeeze the inner legs together. Inner thighs away from each other. Outer thighs and hips and calves and shins firm in. And the outer legs in. Soften the inner knees. Yeah, good. Tailbone towards pubis, keeping the inner groin back. And just like a millimeter, right? And lift the pelvic floor. And lift from the inner feet, from the inner lower legs to the inner thighs, all the way up to the perineum. And then lift the perineum up the front of the spine to the front of the throat, all the way up. Tuck the chin slightly back and down. Pull the arms back from the elbows, from the knees, from the elbows. So as you root down into the feet, lift the torso up and soften the gaze, broaden the gaze. Don't push your front ribs forward. Take your front ribs to your back ribs and breathe. Good. And soften your gaze. Push your front ribs and push your back ribs. So this is a common thing. Right? We push these forward. So take these back here. Yeah. Yeah. So your ribs should be over your hips. That's good alignment, right? So then, well, how do I lift my chest, right? So you have to take the thoracic spine in and up without pushing the ribs forward. That's challenging. Yeah. Breathe. All that and breathe too. Okay, good. So then, step and jump. So you're gonna bring your fingertips together. Elbows up. Bend your knees at angles. And then when you land, you want to bend. Don't land hard with stiff joints. But not too loose here, strong. And if you have a reason not to jump, then step, okay? And take your arms at the same time. Yeah, so your arms go all the way, palms down, palms down. Now check your feet, outer edges of the feet parallel, and bring your hands to your hips. And then you want the blocks more or less behind your feet. And when you take the distance should be about wrists over ankles, or wide. You have long legs. Long legs have to go wider. If you can, don't harm your hips, okay? Take your feet wider. Yes, yes. Can you do it? No, more? Oh, that's pretty good, but take your heels out more. So parallel the outside edges of your feet, yes. That's it. Now take your hands to your hips. And observe how that broadens your buttocks. If you take your heels in, that pinches your buttocks, right? You can't do a forward bend, pinching the buttocks. So and we're not going to do a forward bend, but in any case, you want the buttocks broad. Okay, we are going to do a forward bend to the side. Bring your hands to yeah. And instead of sticking the butt out, you release your lower back, your belly in. Take your tailbone towards your pubis and lift your pelvic floor. So you neutralize your pelvis. So you're not pushing it forward, you're not sticking it out. It's in a neutral position. So your inner groin stays back.
not to push that forward. Yeah. Okay, lift and roll your shoulders back. Bend your right knee, and then turn your right leg all the way out. So the foot faces this orange wall here, the floor. And then the knee, the thigh, the chin, the ankle, everything faces that way, especially look here, this crease of the groin. Now, your back heel, turn it out, come in a little bit, angle the back foot in slightly. So you turn your foot, yeah, so this thigh goes in a little, the left thigh. So you have to turn your hips a little bit to the right in order to do this forward bend to the side. So if you try to put your hips this way, this leg is turned in, and then you can't go anywhere, right? So the most important thing is this leg is turned down, straighten the leg down. Okay, now when you straighten the leg, press into the inner foot. Find the inner right foot and press into it. And then find your kneecap. And lift your kneecap up using your quadriceps. So now you should feel your calf and your quadriceps engaging. Now lift your right hip up off your thigh and turn your rib cage so it faces the long edge of the mat and you send your arm. Draw the shoulder blades down or the elbows up. Look at both arms parallel to the ground. Right arm parallel. Yeah. Right leg straight. Good. Look to the right. Take a breath. Look to the right. Turn your head. Yes. And then as you exhale, you reach out to the right. And you're going to go into a forward bend to the side and resist with your left arm. Resist with your left leg. Take your hand on the block and bring it right under your shoulder. You can take the block up at any height. And then lift your top arm straight up. So you're opening from the center of your chest, both arms, and the center of your upper back also, right? Now find your right sitting bone. Curl it under and press it towards me. And then roll your left thigh back. Turn your hips up, turn your waist up, turn your ribs up. Now move both your sitting bones really towards that clock wall. So your hips roll down, yeah, and move the sitting bones instead of down towards the back hip. Yes. And then extend the torso away from them. Yes. Look up at your top hand. Good. Bring that arm towards your face and feet up. Yeah. Now press strongly into your outer back foot, the left leg. Lift your top arm up and inhale to come out. Take your yeah. Take your hands to your hips and bend that front knee a little because you're hyperextending. So that's what happens is we do this and then we're on the outside edge of the foot. Inside edge of the foot will help. Right? Okay. So then hands to hips to rest your arms, bend and turn. Right leg in, left leg out, heel to heel or heel to instep. Yeah, turn your left leg out. Very good. So to straighten the leg, don't shut the knee back. That's hyperextension, right? And then you hang out on the outer foot. Press into the inner foot. Lift the kneecap, engage the quadricep and the calf. Okay? Back foot turns in a little, so the back thigh can roll in a little so that you can turn your hips a little to the left and do that forward bend to the left, right? Lift the left hip off the thigh, turn the wrist, extend the arms around the shoulder blade down. Take the head back, turn and look to your left, straighten your left leg. Straighten your left, yeah, not by shoving the knee back. Look to the left. Now take an inhale. As you exhale, you're going to roll your hips a little down. Look here. Roll your hips a little down, and then move your sitting bones toward the back hip. Your frontal hip points stay, so your hips go with your torso, right? To the left. And you bring the left hand down, right arm up. Take the block higher here. And pull, yeah, take it like this. Okay, and pull it back so it's under your shoulder. Yes, that's right. And straighten your left leg. Push into the inner left foot. Now find your left sitting bone, curl it under, press it forward towards me. Find your right thigh, roll it up and back. So that'll turn your hips up, turn your ribs up, turn your waist up. Good. Take your chin back. And then turn your head and look up. Good. Now bring it to your outer back foot. Use your top arm and inhale, come up. Keep your arms extending, palms down. Turn your feet. Left leg in, right leg out. Hips move to the back leg, front leg straight, right arm down, left arm up. Turn your head and look up. Straighten your leg. Fernanda. Yes. Straighten. Yes. There we go. Raise it forward, left thigh back. Turn to look up. Yes. Reach up with that top arm, root into the outer back foot. Use both arms and legs. Then you'll come up. Turn. Turn your right leg in. Turn your left leg out. Adjust your distance. You're getting too narrow. Extend your arms. Look to the left. Take a breath. Palms down. Palms down. Palms down. Fingers together. Thumbs in. Yeah. And then turn your hips a little. See, look here, turn your hips, not your shoulders, not your ribs, your hips. And then you can do that forward bend to the side. Bring the hand, pull block back, so it's under your shoulder. Look back. Yes, straighten your front leg. Look at your front foot. The toes aren't turned out. Yes.
That's it. Left foot going forward, right thigh back, turn the ribs, turn the waist, look up at the top hand, open the chest, head back. Towards the buttocks, yes. Root into the outer back foot, lift with the top arm, inhale to come up, turn your legs. Left leg in, right leg out. We'll do this until Pia gets to them. Look to the left, right, take a breath. Exhale, reach out. Now, as you go to the right, resist with the left arm, resist with the left leg. This is the stabilizing factor. Then you take the arm down, under the shoulder. Top arm up. Right buttock forward, left thigh back. Turn the ribs, turn the hips, turn the waist, look up. Yes, root into the outer back foot. Inhale, lift up. Turn again. Leg go to the left, turn the left leg out, right foot in, heel to heel or heel to instep. Don't just take your arms down. Turn your hips and move your hips. You're creasing in this part. Look, move your hips this way. Yeah. Now stick your butt out that way as you go down. Yes, keep doing that. Now reach with your, come on, reach with your left arm this way. Look, 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 turn this way. Reach. Move your sit. Yes. Now take your hand down. Yes. Yes. Now move your buttocks towards the back heel. Move your buttocks, your sit bones towards the back heel. Okay. And then lessening going forward, right, and then turn the waist, turn the look up. Put it to the outer back foot, use the top arm, inhale. Good. Turn your feet. I was gonna make you hold it really good. Come together. Come on. Not easy. No, not easy. Yeah.
The knees straight without hyperextending.
Yes, it is. And so that's why you have to push here. And there's no consciousness, there's no connection, right? Everything's up here. Everything else is dangling down thoughtlessly. That's why we do yoga. You gotta get the pathway to go all the way there, all the way down there. This is gonna ground you. This is Muladhara chakra. When you're standing, the base support, Muladhara means base support or energy foundation, is your feet. So they've got to be grounded, right? Okay, so now bring your both blocks here, wide, the top notch, and then come this notch to the feet together, and in the center. Bring your knees, elbows, tail forward, your thighs back, top thighs back, sides of the same forward. So you're upright in your pelvis, firm and root down, and lift up in the center. Good, eyes soft. Firm your elbow joints. Put your arms back, thumbs down. This is worry, right? And it goes right here. Yeah, there you go. Good. Step or jump. Bend your knees, bend your ankles. Okay. Wrist over ankles. Arms extended at the same time as the leg. Good. Hands to hips. Now we were involved to a position between, so going to turn towards the door. Bend your right leg, turn it out. Step your left foot in a little and turn your left leg in. Now turn your hips, turn your waist, turn everything to face this door. Okay, so now it's your right leg forward, left leg back. Right? Yeah. So now press into the inner front foot, outer back foot, like a scissor. Press those two apart, inner front foot, outer back foot. Now find your outer right knee. You can tuck it. Draw the outer right knee to the outer right hip. Pull that outer right hip back. And roll the left buttock around in front. Roll the back of the left thigh around, but now your hips are facing front. Press strongly into the outer back foot, inner front foot. Straighten the back leg. Front knee can bend a little. Now lift the frontal hip points up and take the sitting bones and tailbone forward. So you're trying to upright your pelvis as you straighten that back leg. Yeah. Lift and roll the shoulders back. Now firm your outer hips in, even as you keep your inner thighs apart. Try to lift your right hip up more. Yes. There you go. Good. Squeeze the elbows in, draw the shoulder blades down, firm your outer back, press into your feet, and inhale, look up. Keep your balance. Now, as you exhale, keep your head in that direction, lead with your chin, take your eyes forward, chin forward, and come into an extended forward bend. Coming down, bring your hands on the blocks right under your shoulders. Pull the blocks back. You can be flat palms or fingertips. Okay, so this is the flat back, parallel to the ground. So now, find your outer right knee, draw it back to your outer right hip, and roll the left buttock around in front. So you square the hips to the front. Into your fingertips, yeah. Outer right knee, outer right hip. Now stay in the pose. There you go. Okay, too much this side. Yeah, stick that out. And then come to your fingertips. Yes, and put this. Yes, there you go. Voice moved up as you work here.
Good, breathe. So this is a concave back. Step your left leg a little forward and a little out to the side. No, here, here. More here, out. Yes, yes. There you go. Better chance, right? Good, and extend here. Here. Look down now and extend here. Yes, pull this out of the back and extend the chest forward. Not the chin. Okay. Good. Yes, outer right knee to outer right hip. Should be seal down. Good. You can bend the knee, bend the right. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Good. Keep the seal in more and down. Good. Yes. Yeah. And do that and look down. Good. Look down, Katie. Put your head down, more head down. Flat palms. You don't need to be that high. Yes. Good. Head up, Brittany. Breathe. Punch your fingertips. Yes. And then draw this. Yes. Think that out. Yes. This hip. Yes. No. Don't. Just move your spine in. Yes. Spine in and forward. This. Here's your sternum. No, don't round. Move this forward towards your chin. Yes. Good. That's it. Good. Look down. Fernanda, look down. Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin. Yes. Now your neck is in line with your spine. You feel that? Keep your eyes open. Eyes open. Press into your inner front foot and start to straighten your legs slowly. Stick your butt out. Don't further sitting bones under. No. Your butt is curled under. Move your butt sitting bones back towards the wall behind you. Stick your butt out. Okay. Good. Pull the blocks back. They're too far forward. Pull the blocks back. Fernanda. So they're under your shoulders. More. There. That's good. That's good. Yes. There you go. Yes. Good. Okay. Hands to the inhale. Come up. Now, actually, bring the blocks with you. Can you do that? Okay. Good. Now turn. Okay. So now your left leg turns out. Right leg turns in. To the block. Yeah, and then come back upright, hands on the hips, come back upright, hands on the hips. Okay, so turn your leg, keep the rest of you. Step your right foot out towards me, you're too narrow. Yeah, there we go. It's much easier to find the turn of the hips, okay? Press into the outer back foot strongly. Yes, more strongly. Open the back of your back knee. This knee back. Yes. That leg back. Push it inner, yeah, don't turn too much. There, now push that. Yes. Press into the inner front foot. You can bend the knee a little. Outer left knee to outer left hip, roll the right buttock around, back of the right thigh range. So your hips face the front. Yes. Now straighten this leg. This, no. Straight, slip the kneecap. Yes. And turn. Yes. Bend the front knee, straighten the back leg. It's all about the back leg. We have stuff on the front leg. Hands to hips, lift the chest. Roll the shoulders back. Firm the outer hips. Yes, press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. Inhale, look up, head up, don't lose your balance. Take your head all the way up, forehead to the sky. Look up. Lift the forehead up. Don't sink the that's back. Up. Yes. Look up. Eyes up. Yes. Look up. Good. Keep that look. Exhale, come forward. So as you come forward, your eyes look forward. Eyes look forward. Then you take your hands down. Yes. Look forward. Don't look down. Look back. Chin, look forward. Look there. Look. That's where your prana is going. If you look down, your prana is going down. Yes. Hands on the blocks. Go higher. Take the blocks higher. Good. Outer left knee to outer left hip. Roll the right hip and buttock around. Lift the hip up. Yes. Take the butt out. Yes. Just inner foot down. Yes. Move your, yes. Tuck your chin and low. Tuck your chin towards your clavicular. Yes. Good. There. Yeah, that's true. Good. This way. Yeah. And when you move slowly with your breath, right? And mindfully, that's what you do. Not in. Yeah. Listen. Shoulders back. That's it. Yeah. Good. 2 wide comes back and then second back foot is more. Now. You're gonna see it in. Yeah. Oh, no, don't move it in. Just turn the heel. There. 45 times. Yes. Come to your fingertips. Fingertips. Yes. Listen. Yes. Into your chin. Yeah. There. Good. On the side is so much better. Good. Better. Look at you. Yes. There. Listen. Yes. Good. Okay. Good. Take the blocks. Come up and turn. Other side. One more time. Okay, turn.
Right leg out, left foot in, take the blocks down. Observe your hips, then you're gonna shift your abdomen and turn a little, and then you're gonna come down with the leg, right? But first, it's extended back, okay? Turn your hips. Yes. Better, good. Hands to hips, head up, look up, take a breath, chin up, look up, chest up, look up, eyes up to the ceiling. Yes. That's it, squeeze your elbows, turn your hips, take a breath, and now exhale and look forward. Pull the hips back and go forward into your forward bend. Look forward, look forward where you're going, and then down, hands on the blocks, good. That's it. This up and this in. Yeah. Yeah, shoulders back, yeah. Sit in front. Yes. Good, look down. Good. Take a breath, now exhale, shift your abdomen over your right thigh. And then start to lower down over your right thigh. You can bend your knee, you can lower the blocks, or you can take your hands on the ground, right? Take your head, take your gaze, tuck your chin, look in, head to chin. Yeah, good. Keep rooting into the outer back foot, inner front foot. Breathe, and then eventually you lie down on the leg. Yeah, good. Lift this hip. Yes, so you don't sink in your sitting bones. This hip in, this hip in. Yes, yeah, good. There, yes. Good. Bend your knee. Pull. Keep your hands down. Head to shin. Head to shin. Head to shin. Yes, good. There you go. Good. Palms flat. Go ahead and take your palms flat. Push forward and down. And that'll pull your legs back towards the back leg, right? Yes. You can walk your hands more forward and push. Yes. Right. I'm going to let this sink. This back. Yes. Good. And then come up to concave. Oh, yes, side. Bend this leg a lot. There. So for you, you have to keep this leg bent. And then you have to be a little wider side to side. Okay. Well, that happens to you too. Yeah. There you go. Good. And then come up concave. So take your blocks. Put your hands on your blocks. Take your blocks high. Get the weight in the back heel. You lost your back heel entirely. Yes. Bring the blocks more back. They're too far forward. Now root into your back leg. Back heel down. Back heel down. Yes. Pull back. Push into, yes. More. Push into the inner front. Yes. Now come up. Pull the blocks up and come up to standing. Yeah. So you can't come up to standing if your left back leg is off the ground. And that's your foundation. It's the back leg. Turn the other way. You get this left one. So you take your blocks and you come to concave. Then you should turn and you come down your leg. Okay? But take your time. So square your hips. With this left. Okay, go down. Yeah. Okay. Roll this. Don't turn the foot. Yeah, and with this side right. Yeah, and back. Yes. And extend your back. Extend. Here. Yes, and breathe. Just feel that. Just feel that. Yes. They don't collapse and your pelvic floor. So when you do that, it's this. Side of your left. Back and then up. Yeah. There you go. Now I sit down and you go down over your leg. Keep the weight in the back leg and go down over your left leg. So shift your abdomen so you come over the left leg. Okay. And then you can load the blocks or take your hands on the ground. Okay. But you want to shift the abdomen so you can right over the left leg. Like in Janu Shasana, palms flat. Okay. Yes. Pull close. This. Ideally, heel in. Yeah, more. That much. Yes. That's still between the buttocks. Still, yes. Yes. Maybe a little more. Yeah. Shift a little more. Yeah. Not really. Yeah. There you go. Good. That's it. And then from here, you start to open. Slowly. Good. Put your right leg a little forward. And go out. Step it here. Yeah. More forward, I think you switch to wide into that. And out to the side. Step it more to yes. Then you yeah. There we go. Good. Now keep your head to your shoe. Yes.
good, and then slowly in front, straighten this leg, choose the inner front, yes, slowly. Yes, walk your hands back, boom, yes, good, okay, and then coming up, concave back. Bring your hands on the blocks, extend your torso, don't round up, look forward, head forward, chin, yeah, take the blocks higher, higher, to the highest notch. Take the blocks higher, yes, lift your torso higher, now stay there and breathe, hold the blocks. And press into the inner front foot, outer back foot, get all the weight in that back leg, pull the hips back, chest forward, and then come up. Yeah, so there's two things happening, or many things happening. But your whole body shouldn't be going forward. Your hips and legs have to stay back here as you extend your torso, right? Otherwise, everything's going. But put the blocks at the side. Actually, you know, what you can do is put your 2 blocks here in front of your mat. Yeah, and take them wide. A little bit wide, right? Look how this muscle be. Double breath. There's a family goes intensive today. This has been, I have a whole plan other than that. That's not but we will do something else after this. I promise you, we will get off the legs. But this is the first thing to learn. This is the foundation, is your feet. And the Chinese people say you die from the feet up. And our feet are like twisted roots that are dry and hard and dead, and there's not much water, there's no energy, there's no strength, there's no life. But really, take your energy down out of the brain and keep it nice. Okay? And then put your arms. And then we'll step our toe. Okay. And then we're going to turn to the right again. Yeah. So step your back foot in, right? So when you turn to the right, you have to adjust your back leg. So look at your back leg. You're like, so you have to step your back leg out to the side, just a little bit. Yes. Okay. Turn your back foot in a little bit more, Brittany. Yeah. And draw the outer right knee to the outer right hip and roll the left hip around. So it's the same thing as part of Uttanasana, but what we're going to do is carry you to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Okay. So now firm your hips, firm your waist, press into the inner front foot, outer back foot. Don't hyperextend the front knee, but press into that inner foot. Inhale, you lift the chest, exhale, come down halfway. Take your right hand on the block, right hand. Right, yes. Sorry, left hand. I'm sorry, I'm hearing you. Left hand on the block, right? And put it under your shoulder, close to the leg. Yeah. Put your right hand and hook your thumb in that outer right hip and pull that outer right hip back. Yes, as you roll the left buttock around. Now press strongly into the outer back foot, inner front foot. Extend your torso forward and then start to revolve your abdomen, your rib cage, and your chest. And press that left shoulder blade onto the back and turn. Look at the rope wall. Yes. And then you can take your top arm up if that's comfortable with you. So your hips move back. So you stabilize it, straighten your back leg. Yeah. And as you pull the hips back, you extend the torso forward and then you open the chest and turn. And you can bring the hand closer and closer to the inside edge of the foot. You can take it across the foot. You can have it on the ground. Bring your head that way. Yeah. There you go. Good. So the hips back, the torso. Yeah. So you're getting that extension and breathe from the center of the chest and upper back. Good. That's beautiful. Now take your hand down to your hip. Pull the weight back to the back heel. Pull the weight back. Look down in front of your foot. Yeah. Pull the weight back. Good. Other hand to hip. Both hands to hips. Inhale. Lift your chest. Chin forward. Come on. Chin forward. Look forward. Yes. Inhale. Come on. Good. Stabilize your hips. Turn. Turn the other leg. Okay. Now your left leg out. Right leg in. Okay. Hands to hips. Turn your outer hips. You can move down. You can have your right hand on the inside or the outside of the foot. Pull the hips back, extend the torso forward, and then you take the arm. Yes. Good. Yeah. Good. This is better, Fernanda. And how you're finding this one. Good. No, that's strong hand. Wherever you put your foot doesn't matter, but you want to push down, like dig a hole in the ground. Yeah. And then you take this step. Lift this up. Now take this step for the other way. This step for the other, yes. So now the foot, straighten your feet. And there you go. Okay. Now take your head to the crosswalk. Take your head here. No, your head. Yes, keep going. Move that block closer into your foot. Closer in. Yeah, take your head this. Take your head this. Yes, lift this arm. Yes, over the chest. Pull the hips back, breathe. Good. Take your hand to your hip, look down. Take your other hand to your hip, look down. Inhale, come up, look up. Hand to the hip, hand to the hip, hand to the hip, you're gonna come up. Other hand to the hip, look down. Hand to the hip, inhale, come up. Yeah, turn, good. One more time, we do over, okay? So, you can have the blocks here, and you're here, right? You turn. And then you take your left arm down, right arm up, and you come up, you turn. And you take your right arm down, left arm up. I'm just gonna do the back, okay? So, keep your arms extended. You can use the block if you like. Yeah, so your feet are just a little narrow, I would say, that's it, yeah. And then instead of bringing your hand flat and turning your hips down like that, stay on your fingertips, okay? And be there for 5 breaths before you can, okay? Left hand down. Right arm up, be on your fingertips. Bring your hand closer to your foot. Yes. Good, and breathe. So don't lift your back heel. Keep this grounded. Keep this weight back here. Yes. So bring your hand, be on your inner foot. Bend the front knee a little. Be on the inner foot. Yes. Press into that foot. Come on, press. Yes. Keep the hips back. Hand closer to the foot. Hand closer to the foot. Yes, be on your fingertips. Be on your fingertips. Yes, straight arms. Lift your torso up. Yeah. Now, take your right arm up. Go. Yes. Bring your left hand closer to your foot. Bend your front knee. Yes. Bring your left hand closer to your foot. The bottom hand. Yeah. Yes. Not back. Straight up. Open the chest. Yes. Try to pull the hips back as you extend the torso forward. Good. Root into this foot. Good. Then turn your gaze down. Keep your arms where they are. Right? And then you just lift your bottom arm. Turn to this. Yes, put your arms stay extended. Arms stay extended. Like this. Turn. Like an airplane. Then you come down. Turn down. Left arm not back. Straight up. Yes. Take the block closer to your foot. Yes, closer to your foot. Yes. You're gonna eventually take it across the foot. Look to the rope wall. Look to the rope wall. Look at those ropes. Bring your head to the ropes, not back. Bring your head forward. So you're gonna take your whole shoulder first across your leg. Okay, good. Breathe. Look at this knee, that's strong here. Good, and you're leaning back. It's flatter. Where are the ropes? Look at the ropes. Look at the ropes. Look at them. Yes. Good. Yes. Now pull the hips back. Look down. Take your top arm up. Both arms up. Turn. Go straight ahead. Good. Very good. Okay. Okay. So, keep together. Very good. Down. Down. Very good. Keep together. Yeah. Turn. You're going back, pop that back, and knees forward. Yeah. Just out. Good. We'll do one more standing. Press your toes, not wide legged forward bend. Here we go. And then take your heels to the back edge of your mat. And if you need block, your hands are ahead, you have a block forward, hands to hips. Press into the outer feet and your outer buttocks. With the inner feet out, to the inner legs, the inner groin. Outer feet parallel. Check your feet. Yeah, go a little wider if you can for now, but you have the long legs. With the chest, roll the shoulders back. And then inner groin back, tailbone forward without pushing the inner thighs forward. Okay? So upright pelvis. Yes. With the chest, you can look up, and then keep the chin up and take the gaze forward as you come down. Right? Lead with your chest, lead with your chin. Good. Then you can be on the fingertips or on blocks. Widen your heels a little. Take your fingertips on the ground here. And then so that, yeah, and straight elbows. Come on, lift up. And then head up. Yes, this extended back variation. Widen your leg for 2 minutes. That's good. Press into the outer feet. Lift your kneecap. Straight arms, straight knees. Straight elbows, straight knees. Yeah, head up. Yes. Move your upper back in as you bring your chin forward. Yeah. Yes. That's it. Take an inhale, and then exhale, you come down, and you're gonna go into the headstand 2 position with your arms, right? So you bend your elbows, have your elbows and wrists in line with your shoulders, bring your head on some support if it's not touching the ground if possible. Yeah.
palms flat, yeah, there you go. So you're on your forehead, tuck your chin, take that blanket, fold it open, yeah, and fold it in thirds, Okay, now turn the other way. And then you have a lot of French back there. A little more back for your feet, more back, there you go. Now, widen your feet, palms flat, widen your feet, wider, now go. Bend your knees a little, yes. Palms flat, elbows in, bring your hands a little more forward. Yes, now push down into your hands and go into your fingers. Yes, push your elbows in, lift your shoulders up, head down, good. Soften your knees a little forward, yes, and breathe, that's it, you're there. So, bring your hand, not your forearms, like this. And so it's like chaturanga, you know chaturanga? Here. Right? Yeah, so if your head doesn't touch, straight knees, yeah, you can use a block. And you want not your forehead, but yes, push your head down. Push your elbows and press down and forward. Lift your shoulders up, away from your head. Okay, so this is firm, elbows in, shoulders up, head down, yes, straight knees. As you okay here? Breathe, soften a little bit, but you can see you get equal pressure in your head, your hands, and it's not all in your legs. Yes, good. It's good, Katie. Good, breathe. Good. Okay, and then coming up, walk your hands forward, so your hands are under your shoulders, come to your fingertips. Press your outer buttocks down into your outer feet, lift your inner feet up through your inner knees to your thighs. Control heel your feet in a little bit, feet up, your legs, so straight legs, hands down. Be on your fingertips, you're getting ready to come up, straight elbows. Yeah, head forward, look up, head up, look up. Yeah, you're going up now, so that's where you're looking. Hands to your hips, sitting bones down, hamstrings up, keep it going up, come up. Don't bend your knees, keep your legs straight, lift your chest, straight knees. Good, okay? So we think you can do it, right? But we can't, right? It's just a matter of practice. So you can do that. You can come up all the way with your knees straight. You have to get a little closer together, right? And then this is like, yeah, you have to lift up with your mind, right? With your intention, with your gaze, and with your breath. With everything. Not to do. So we're going to do bridge times 3. I'm going to show you, okay? Take a belt and watch for a second. You can just keep your mouth that way. Watch me for a second. So with the belt, you're going to open it like this, and you're going to use it on the 3rd try. So I'll show you. You're going to do 3 times. Just watch. So you're going to bend your knees and you're going to bend your elbow like this. Can you see? Spread fingers and active. Now you roll the hips forward. And my feet are towards the outer hips, in parallel. Roll the hips forward. You see now I have an arch in the back? You see that? Not back. Forward, okay? Then I take the elbows and the head down, the butt and the feet. See how my shoulders are off the ground, right? Now I'm gonna roll the outer edge of the upper arm down. And my spine is not touching the ground at all, just my tailbone and my head. Then I press into the inner feet and the outer edge of the upper arm. Lift the inner edge of the upper arm and the back is up. Try to get my shoulders under more. Back and then just relax. Take a few breaths, come down, and then you can take the arch out of the back of the feet. This time, watch. After you come up, you can enjoy some fingers like this, okay? But don't do it before you do this part. Then you'll come down, where you'll rest, and then the 3rd one is called Chatuspadasana. You widen your feet, you bring your feet close to the outer buttocks, and then you take your knees toward your feet, with your hips. Take the shoulders under, and then you can walk your feet a little forward and get a good lift here. Okay, so that's a good thing. So lie down, have the belt handy, and open the belt up so it's ready. And double it up so it's stronger. And then just lay it beside you. Then you want the hook out of the way. Yeah. Okay, then bend your knees, have your feet towards the outer hip and parallel, and bend your elbows. So your wrists are over your elbows and spread your palms. Yeah, so that's the last one. So come down and do this one first, okay? Because don't come up yet. Just bend your knees and bend your elbows and stay there and breathe. Yeah. And firm.
Yes, roll your hips forward, not back, that's back. So, yes, you have an arch in your back. Now, spread your arms. Keep your knees apart. Dig your elbows down, lift your chest up, not your butt, your chest. Yes, lift your chest and roll your shoulders under. No, no, no. Lift. Yes, and roll under. Yes, press the outer edge of the upper arm down. Inner edge of the upper arm up. Spread your palm. Press into your inner feet, outer arms, and inhale come up. So now you have to use something other than what you're used to, right? Come all the way up. Come all the way up. Come up. Good. And then you walk the elbows in. Elbows, no, keep your hands here. Just elbows in, shoulders under. Yes. Now press down and lift up. Outer edge of the upper arm down. Inner edge of the upper arm up. Back ribs up. Buttocks up. Legs got too wide. Knees in. Yes. Buttocks up. Elbows in. Hands firm. Buttocks up. Outer knees to inner knees to inner feet. Now lift the buttocks. Yes. Good. Good. Don't interlace the feet. Keep your arms here. Arms here. Come down. Not you. Stay here. Spread your palms. Lift your hips. Yeah. Roll the shoulders under. Yeah. Take your arms down. Lift your hips. Lift your hips. Good. Lift your hips. Yeah. Stay there and breathe. Stay there and breathe. Yeah. Open your wrists. Yes. Open your palms. Spread your yes. Bring your feet closer together. Bring your left foot more forward. Towards the knee. We're not going to do this one. This one forward. Good. Now lift your hip. Lift, buttocks up, back ribs up. Now come down. Drop the groin. So when you come down, drop the inner groin, like your tailbone drops. Yes. Take the arch out of your back. Take a breath. So I'm trying to get you to find your balance, your butt, your legs, right? Instead of just using your arms to connect to your hands and your brain, right? So you do it again. Stay there. Bring this one in. No, don't come up. Now stay there. Don't come up. Don't come up. Okay. Roll your hips forward. Lift your chest. Roll your shoulders under. Lift your chest. Yeah. Just shoulders. Yeah. Now come up. That's going to be outer edge of the upper arm, inner feet. Lift the buttocks and come up. Lift the back rib. Now extend your arms and interlace. Now extend your arms and interlace your finger. Now extend your arms and interlace your fingers. Like this. Like this. Fingers. Yeah. Roll the shoulders under. Lift the back ribs. Yes. Roll the shoulders under the shoulders, not just the upper arms. Okay. Into the shoulders. This way. So this part of the spine comes up. Look here. Good. This part of the spine comes up. Yeah. Good. Elbows in. Yeah. I mean knees. Sorry. Lift your buttocks. Lift it. Lift it up. Push into my legs with your knees. Push. Push out. Push out. And lift your hips. Lift. Lift your back ribs. Lift. Good. Under your fingers, come down. Bend your elbows again. Under your fingers. Go back to those elbows. Take your inner groin down. Drop your tailbone. Yes. So that helps you get out of the butt pinch. Okay. Yes. Now this last one, we take the belts. Okay. You wrap it around the front of your shins. You pull the heels back. Right alongside the buttocks. So like this. Do this. Widen your feet. Widen your feet. Yeah. Now when you bring your feet down, they should be right alongside your buttocks, close to your buttocks. Yes. Walk your hands towards the ankles. Yeah. Head down. Head down. Good. Now, when you come up, it's a different way, right? So lead with your knees. Move your knees forward. Towards your feet. Lift your buttocks up. And then you take your hamstrings back to your sitting bones. Sitting bones spread your hamstrings and lift your hips up. So your shins move back, knees move back. And then you lift up high. Use the belt. Yeah, no, use the belt. Yeah, that's it. Now lift your hips. Take your shins back, take your knees back, and lift your hips up. Okay, so now you have to, yes, keep lifting your hips higher. Back ribs higher. Yes. Stay there, Pia. Walk your feet a little forward. They're too far back. Yes, stay there. Now lift there. The knees in. Don't lift. Yes. Good. Yes, Brittany. You could go a little forward with your feet, just the teeniest bit. No, that's back. Forward. Yeah. More forward. Yeah. Heels out. Heels out. Yes. Now lift. Lift. Yes. Knees in. Outer knees to inner knees. Inner knees down to the inner feet. Send the inner feet. Take the heels down. Good. Lift the hips. Yes. Yeah, you have to walk feet moving forward, feet more forward, feet more forward, feet more forward, more, feet wide, feet wider, feet wider, feet wider, feet wider, feet wider, there. Toes in, heels out, yes. Now, okay. Yeah, Pia, don't do that, because then you're doing this, that's not healthy for your back. You want this broad and then this in, you never want to, like that squeezing, that's not gonna be good, right? Yeah.
So it needs to be.
The knees should be over the heels. Yeah, walk your feet more forward. Your feet are too, yeah, try that. Okay, here's, now, press into my feet. I mean, with your, press out, yeah, now lift your hips, lift your hips. Yes. Lift your buttocks, yes. Lift here, yes. Lift buttocks this way. Yeah, good, okay, coming down, yeah. So that's how you want to do wheel too, right? You don't want to do wheel like this. But pinch, knees out, crunch your lower back, and you're like, oh, I'm in pain, I don't know why. Okay, because your legs shouldn't be external. You should be internally rotated, so your pelvis can move. Okay, that's good. Now. Take 5 pounds in. Just take your feet together, knees apart, and rest here for a few breaths. Yeah. And then when you're ready, you'll bend your knees and roll over onto your side and come up, and then we're gonna do legs up the wall. So take the skinny edge of your mat to the wall in between 2 hooks, in between 2 rows, okay? And then you'll have 1 or 2 blankets, 2 blankets, ideally, either good or bolster. Okay, so. I'll show you. Bolster is good, you can also do 2 blankets, and it depends on your shape of your body. Also. So you can I'll show you the folds of the blanket. This is something a little broader, right under your body, or you can do it narrower. So if you're a taller person, you might want broader, if you're a shorter person, you might want narrower, more like a bolster. Okay. So. Usually it's fine. You want to be about like a skinny block distance from the wall, and you're sitting on the edge, your buttocks off, and you're a little bit, right? And so this is going to give me a really good lift under my back ribs. For some of you that might be too much, but so see how, look at my chest, look at my chest. Can you see? What pose am I in my chest? Bridge, what we just did, right? Look at my chest, it's lifted, it's bridge pose, and then the buttocks is down. So this is called deep harmony. So it's like a variation where combination of bridge and pose, right? So see how this is behind my chest. So you need to move it back a little bit, and also you need more height. Yeah, and move those blankets back. Yeah. Just like this, and then you move it a little more. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Is that too much for you? Okay, good. So I want to feel this, like one of the rows. I'm speaking, I go through this. Runs out. So you can come up a little bit. So here's your shoulder blades. You want to look to this side. No, just forget everything. Let me do it. That. Okay. So you're kind of changing a little bit in here. Good. So you see this here, the lift of your chest and your. So this lift. Yeah, so that's bridge. Like you just did. Good, it's soft. This is restorative. Now your front ribs and your hips are more or less the same one. So you see your sitting ones are curling up. Let you bring your feet a little bit wide. Yeah, and let your buttocks drop into that. Yes. So let your inner groin back this way. And then buttocks drop, backwards drop, let your buttocks drop. Sitting ones drop. Yes. I know. So we're so used to pinching our buttocks and our pelvic floor, so this helps broaden that area, right? And actually, that's how you want to be sitting. I'm not gonna back rock back and butt squeeze, but that should drop. Right, that's just the natural curve in your lower back. Move the bottom, your little bar, move everything a little closer to you. Yeah, yeah, so if you want to lift in your back ribs, you need to pull the blankets the other way. Or you go here. You know, kind of this. Now, use the ropes and lift your, bend your knees, bring your feet on the wall and lift up so you don't skip. And then drop into that. Yes, yeah, no. So this kind of gives you the core under your, more your sacrum and a little less under your shoulder. So this is fine too. It's a good beginning, but it still gives you this lift a little bit here, right? Of this slight ridge. And then your ribs and your hips are on the same line, so you're out making your knees spread on your back body, separate your feet, and then lower your legs into internal rotation. That's external. Yeah, so your knees point straight back, your shins, ankles, and your feet point straight back. Lift your heels up, flex your feet, and then drop your buttocks down. Yes, right. So you have the natural curve. Your buttocks is broad, back legs broad, open backs the knees out, and then soften the effort and into. Okay. So there's a lot of overacting in some places and everywhere in others. I think this happening, you know, I have some patterns that come in, and then you start to go, that's not so helpful, and you try a little different way and reverse this patterns. This is the inversion, right, of the legs. And it's restorative because you can be supported whole body, right? You got to balance your legs, but you can also, you leave the legs free, and if you want, you can use a few variations in there. So look here, so this is that foot that. So you want to have your inner and outer ankles equally long. And when you do this, just go ahead, see how that gets short, right? And then that happens, you collapse into the inner foot and it affects the knee and everything. Right, so our whole body, there's some tiny ankle, and there's the stirrups here that connect to the muscles in the lower leg. And it's really nice. You want to organize that, yeah. And then drop the buttocks and drop. Yes. And then relax. Yeah, and if you want, you can use some leg variations here or not. But if you want to try some leg variations, you can go to Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees apart. So, yeah. So you go from straight to bend to straight to bend. Then you also to external. Yeah. So when your legs are out like this, if there's internal or external rotation of your legs. Internal. Yeah. So you want to roll the legs in, just like in Dandasana, when your legs are straight up. Right, the legs are going wide apart. They are adducting, but they're not externally rotating. They're internally rotating, just like in Tadasana and Dandasana. And then you get it down, not up. It's down. Yes. Yeah. So the movements back together. Go to bottom hands. Hold the feet together. Bend your knees. Yeah, so, and when you do that, don't forget getting your knees to the wall and your buttocks up, but how about it strong? Let your back line strong and your buttocks in the ass. And breathe, just relax. Strong, is that? Yeah, yeah. So there's more to it than just the legs, right? So the pelvic floor, that's where the leg lead into the hips are. You're good. But then we're going to give us some pressure. And when you do this one, don't miss it. Just, yeah. We need to be nice. And you release. And then we do this. And then maybe a little bit. And then you just remind me to this whole thing. Yes, see how it frees up the abdomen. And then you can go back straight, you can cross legged if you want, you can squat. If you're happy there, just stay there. Yeah, so if you're gonna do squat, you can try this variation of squat. So it's a wide-legged squat. Bring your feet out, bring your knees out. Feet are out as much as the knees, bring the heels close to the buttocks between, yep, there you go, like that. Bring your feet close to your buttocks. Yeah. Heels in, foot in, with the butt. Don't turn your feet, the feet only turn the same for knees, never move the knees. Yeah. And then you can go back straight. You go to cross legs. Very nice. You take your arms overhead, hold your opposite elbows overhead. Kind of nice thing. And then extend your legs up and change the cross of your legs, so the other leg is in front. And then extend your arms overhead and change the cross of the arms. And the other arms. And the soles of feet up. Yeah. It's more awkward. No. And straighten your legs up. Extend your arms, turn your palms in, and raise your arms up, and then back down to the side. And you use the squat. This time, hips point up, knees point back. Bring your feet a little bit wide. Yeah, bring your heels down close to your buttocks. And then you'll roll over to your side to come out. Bring your feet all the way down. And lift your hand on your other one. Pull your waist down. You come up when you're ready. And then you'll sit on your blankets, cross-legged. And with your closing your hands. Take a few moments and settle into your seat. Look front thighs and drop the pelvic floor. Observe the pelvic floor, the sit bones, the tailbone, the cheeks. Press down to the forehead and the sit bones. Yes. With the weight in your hips. Back the chin slightly, let your eyes close and observe your breath. And you can take under moving if you like, or just keep your hands down as you wish. Take a big breath in and out. And then inhale deeply for home. Asatoma, Asatoma, Satgamaya, Satgamaya, Tamasoma, Soma, Jyotirgamaya, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Mrityorma, Amritangamaya, Amritangamaya, Om. Purnamadam, Purnamadam, Purnamidam, Purnamidam, Purnam, Purnam, Purnam Udachyate, Purnam Udachyate, Purnasyam, Purnasyam, Purnamadaya, Purnamadaya, Purnameva, Vashishyate, Vashishyate, Om. Take a little deeper breath, lift the heart, and then release the head, chin towards the chest, release the hands to the thighs. Pause for a few moments, softening the front of the throat, draw the sides of the throat back, release the muscles at the back of the neck and the base of the skull. Chin towards the clavicular notch. Eyes are closed. Let the brain, energy, the eyes, all the senses descend into the heart center. Have a sense of yourself emanating from your heart center, front, side, and back. And with your eyes closed, on an inhale, slowly curl up the back of your neck. And center your ears over your shoulders, drawing your chin back. And with your eyes closed, raise your gaze, so when you open your eyes, you're looking straight ahead. But keep your eyes closed and soften the eyes and broaden the internal focus. And let your gaze descend again into your heart center. You continue to gaze into your heart center as you allow your eyelids to gently close open. Okay, my friends, have a groovy day. Thank you, Lena. Good to see you.
Thank you, Anna.
Good to
See you
hear
next
everything, and see everything well enough.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, have a good day.
You too. Bye bye. You all.
That's Lena. She's a student. Actually, she's living in San Francisco. She's not in Taiwan.
Yeah, for over 3 years, I think. Yes. Over.
New Jersey, this is nothing person.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye. All right. I don't know how maybe it is, but I assume she's the only. I'll have to ask her one day. I always say